fears. Let's battle the fears you have today. Then we're going to take it and drop it down to 3 big fears. So right now, this is all about you, what you're doing, where you're at. What are your 3 biggest fears today? Maybe they've been the biggest fears forever. So we're going to focus this more on entrepreneurs, internet marketers, network marketers, business people. So we're going to break it down for you guys out there who are entrepreneurs, who are struggling. Maybe you've already started your business, maybe you're already going, and you still have fears of, where am I going to go? Where do I get this next training? How do I learn these skills? Whatever your fears are, I want you to take this minute right here and look at yourself. Look at what I'm reading here in the chat. I've got this focusing on 3 different platforms here. So when you see me looking aside, it means I am looking at the comments in another window. So your top 3 fears are what? I can tell you what my top 3 fears are, and they change as I progress, as I grow. They change, and they change with my growth. So your top 3 fears today may not be your top 3 fears next year, once you've learned and you've combated and you've overcome them. Your top 3 fears, you want to know what they are. Look in yourself, look and ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of doing? What am I afraid of what's going to happen? You know, like we've talked about before, a lot of times we will see people don't want to progress because their friends are holding them back. Their, family's holding them back. They're saying, you can't do this or whatever. But what is really in tune with that, and I'm going to break this down for you in just a second, hold you back. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm having issues with this. Okay, there we go. I was trying to get this other platform to work over here. I got 3 of them going, so yeah, we got to see what's going on. But what happens is people don't want you to succeed, is that they know you will succeed and you will leave them behind. That is a fear of your friends, maybe your best friends, your coworkers, whoever it is that you're working with or that you are telling what you're doing to. So that is their fear, that is their problem, and you just need to say, you know what, I am doing this, I am progressing, I am moving forward. This is me being successful. It doesn't matter what someone else does, it doesn't matter what they don't want you to do, it matters what you want to do. So I want you to take this time, I want you to get a notebook, get a piece of paper, whatever you want to do. Write down your 3 biggest fears. Because once you're starting, or maybe you have a fear of continuing your business, maybe you have a fear of starting your home business, maybe you have a fear of promotion in your job, maybe you're afraid of what's going to happen when you get promoted, maybe you want the promotion but you're afraid of how you're going to react to it and how you're going to perform. So if that's a fear, that's a fear. Okay, maybe you have a fear of not having enough skills. You want to start the business, you want to work in the business. Maybe you've been working the business and you can see you don't have enough skills. That could be a fear. So whatever your fears are, I want you to just break it down and take the top 3. Your top 3 biggest fears. Okay? Number 1 is going to be your biggest fear. The biggest fear you have. Okay, and write it out. Be detailed about it. Don't just say, I'm afraid I don't have skills. Don't say that. Write it out in detail, exactly what this fear is. This is what's holding you down. You want to own it. You want to take control of it. You want to take ownership of this. Right? When you take responsibility for something, what happens? You get an insight. You get an epiphany. You get an aha moment. So do that now. Number 2 is your second biggest fear. What is the second fear you have that is holding you back? What is the second fear that is stopping you from doing what you want to do? What is the second biggest fear that is in your way? It's in your path. Again, write it out in detail. Don't skimp on it. This is all about you growing you. Nobody else is involved. Just write out your fear, write it out in detail, and be specific on what is stopping you. And the third is your smallest fear. What is the smallest fear you have about what you're wanting to do or what you are doing? What is the smallest fear you have? So now, again, detail. Be detailed. So now you have the 3 biggest fears that are stopping you, that are in your path. Because you started your path, or you're on your path, and maybe you veered off, maybe you forked off several times, and you keep coming back to the 3 fears. That happens to a lot of us. It happens to us throughout our lives. It's not going to be a one-time thing. You're going to find, like I said in the beginning, as you grow, as you prosper, as you progress, you're going to have more fears, more battles, more skills you need to learn, more things you need to do, more ways you need to step up. That's okay. That's life. You have to embrace life and accept the consequences that from what you do and do not do. Accept those consequences. Take responsibility for your actions, and more or less take responsibility for the inactions that you have. If you have inactions and you're not doing something you should be doing and you know you should be, that's an inaction. Take responsibility for it. So hold on just a second. Let me look over here and see what these guys are saying. Okay, yes, definitely. You want to be responsible, yes, for everything and anything that you are doing and when you're doing it. You want to be responsible. So, here's the clincher. You're going to start with fear number 3, which is your smallest fear. You're starting here with fear number 3. This is number 3. This one right here on my ring finger. This one's number 3. You're starting with fear number 3. It's your smallest fear. Now you're going to work through what the fear is. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the steps you need to combat that fear, regardless of what it is. Maybe you have a fear of getting up early in the morning because you're not a morning person. I gotcha. I understand. I'm not a morning person either. And it is something you get used to. It's something you get used to doing. If that's what you're doing, then do it regardless of how you feel, of how it's like, oh my gosh, now I'm going to be grumpy all day. Stop saying that to yourself. Whatever you say to yourself is what you're going to attract back to you. So that's another broadcast on the law of attraction and like attracts like. So build your confidence. When you complete your smallest fear, and it's going to take you a while. I'm not going to say you're going to complete this in one day. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you're going to complete this fear. And when you do, when you complete this fear, you're going to find out you have more confidence. Hey, I did that. I battled that. Whatever your fear is. Okay? And write it down. Write out what you did. Be specific. This is going to help you as you go forward. As you move forward in your life and on your path, this is going to help you to look back on this and say, okay, I did that. I created fear. I combated fear number 3. I won. It's not bothering me anymore. I won. Okay, once you've completed fear number 3, you're going to move on to fear number 2, which is your second biggest fear. And again, these will take you some time. You can do other things as you're combating your fears. You don't have to stop your marketing. You don't have to stop learning. You don't have to stop any training that you're doing. You don't have to stop building your sales funnels. You don't have to stop building courses. You don't have to stop anything. Keep going with what you're doing, but you're going to find as you combat each fear, you've already done fear number 3. Now you're on fear number 2. This one. This one. That's fear number 1. This, the middle finger is fear number 2. Now you're combating fear number 2. This one's a little tougher. This one's a little harder. This one's the one that's been really kicking your butt. You're going to combat fear number 2. And when you do, it's going to take some time. You're going to have more and more confidence. You're going to be more positive. And not just that, you're going to have more continuity in what you're doing. You're going to have more responsibility for yourself in what you're doing. And not just that, hold on guys, hold on just a second. Yes, 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 yes. That is true. I got a comment over here saying, what happens when I have so much confidence I don't know what to do with myself? Well, what happens when you have so much confidence that you don't know what to do with yourself is you grow your income. You grow your income when you have that much confidence in yourself. Because you're not afraid to take a risk. You're not afraid to put yourself out there. You're not afraid to be that leader. You're not afraid of that anymore. So keep that in mind. So once you do that and you have combated, don't move on to the next fear until you've combated that fear. So now you've combated fear number 3. Now is the big daddy. And now you're thinking, okay, this is my biggest fear ever. You know what? What was your biggest fear ever is now not so intimidating. Now, by the time you've combated fear number 3 and fear number 2, and now you're at fear number 1, which is your biggest and scariest fear ever, it's not so scary. Why? Because you have more confidence. You have more energy. You have more insight. Maybe you've learned more skills. You're going to find that you will combat fear number 1 faster and easier, and wonder, now, why was that holding me back? Why was I so afraid of, maybe it's talking to people. Why was I so afraid to call these people and say, hey, I see you logged into my site. I see you were looking at this, whatever that was. Well, what can I do for you? How can I help you? You were afraid. Now you're not afraid. Now you have confidence. Now you're taking it to the next level. Now you are the business owner who you're meant to be. You're on your path and you're moving along. And you know in your heart of hearts, in your heart brain, that this is the path you've chosen for yourself. You've chosen this business. Keep in mind that we often have groups of people around us that will support us. And I invite you to come into our group and get the support, get the coaching, get the insight you need to help you. Not just to combat these fears, but to learn the skills you need to grow your business, to have success. And there's ways that you would not believe are so simple that we can help you. So that's just 3 simple measures to combat 3 big fears which are holding you back. And surround yourself with the right people who are already doing what you want to do, regardless of what niche you're in. When you do marketing, when you do sales promotion, when you do coaching, it doesn't matter what niche you're in. The basic system is the same. So take a look at that and look and see what you need to do to combat these 3 fears. 3 big fears. Okay? And I look forward to seeing you more in the group, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. I do have actually it's an offer up here in the description up here. And if you're on the other group, it's in the bottom. If you're on that one, it's going to fade off when I shut off. So I'm going to tell you to get it now, because if you're in the other group, you know which one I'm talking about. Okay, guys? I look forward to hearing your success, and I look forward to seeing what you're doing, and I look forward to seeing you on the leaderboards. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.